Henson, and Coach Ford opened up with opening statement.
First, I'd like to congratulate Creighton on a great match. I thought they played really, really well, obviously. They served very, very tough. I think that's as tough as we've seen this year. They knew where to go, where our weaknesses were, and exploited those, I thought, very well. And I thought they just played very aggressive when they needed to, especially critical points and game 5. They just played very aggressive and didn't act like a team that was here for the first time. So I think, congratulations to them and their program. I'd also like to just say a little bit about these two. Vic and Moss, I think, are two of the best players in the country. I know they're really disappointed in this match, but we talked about locker room. The only reason we're disappointed is because we raised the bar so high. When you've had the kind of seasons we've had over the past few years, anything less than that is disappointing. So they got us there. We've been the Elite Eight. They brought us to the Sweet 16, and of course they're so disappointed in this. But they're the players that brought us to that point in the first place and raised the bar for Iowa State volleyball. I thought Creighton just did a great job of being aggressive and keeping us on our toes a little bit, especially off the serve. They served very, very tough, and when you do that and don't pass the ball very well, then you become pretty predictable in your offense. They just had really even production from a lot of players from them offensively, and dug a lot of balls at the end of the game and stayed aggressive. So I thought that was probably the difference in the match. But still very proud of our team. We kept fighting. We could have folded quite a bit earlier than that, and I thought we kept fighting until the end. So I'm proud of how they hung in there.
All right, questions?
Kristen, for you first, I guess. You guys outdug them by, I think, 30 and had a higher game percentage. Did it feel like that out there? Was passing that big of a...
I think when the scores get lopsided, those games we won 25-16, 25-19, that can sometimes distort the stats a little bit. It didn't. You could tell that Creighton would get on a roll, and you didn't feel like it was neck and neck. Sometimes they would just get in a really good rhythm, but then we did as well in games 2 and 4. Even though the stats overall are pretty close. I think sometimes the way you play at particular times in the match, particular critical points, say in game 1, when it's 24 all, how you play, aggressive or not, can mean everything, and it doesn't matter if you're hitting 500 to 200. If you're aggressive in those couple points, that can be the difference. So I thought they just did a really good job of playing aggressively when they needed to play hard.
Sean Naughton from the Des Moines Register. Can I get each of the players to kind of say in your own words what it's been like to go through this journey of playing for Iowa State and finally ending your career in NCAA tournament?
I had an awesome 4 years, making to the tournament every year and making it far. I just think Iowa State was an awesome place, and the great coaches and great teammates, and I had the best 4 years that I could. Yes, ditto. Yeah, I loved it at Iowa State, just being able to learn from all the coaches. I was here for 5 years, so I redshirted the first year, so it was kind of like a learning process the first year, and I enjoyed every minute being here and making it to the tournament with my teammates.
For Ashley, Coach Booth said that the digging numbers pretty indicative of how much heart was in that match. Can you talk about how important the emotion was in a match, especially the one that goes to 5 sets?
I think emotion is a big part of this match. So we fought hard all 5 games, and we just didn't get lucky at the end.
Victoria, you finished with 26 kills, 235 hitting percentage. Did it feel like you were getting more balls up than other teams you play, or was it pretty much the same as normal?
They dug a lot of balls, so.
Yeah.
For both of you as the senior leaders of this team, what did you guys tell the team afterwards in the locker room?
it was a little quiet and kind of sad in the locker room. So, I mean, we didn't really get a chance to say much, but I'm sure we will.
Charles Holman, Minnesota Sports Recorder. This is Victoria. Could you speak a little bit about, have you had a chance to think about your legacy that you're leaving, being one of the few black females that play volleyball at collegiate level?
Can you ask that question again?
Okay, have you thought a little bit about your legacy as one of the few black female volleyball players that plays college volleyball?
I mean, I look back and I think that, yeah, I had a good 4 or 5 years. I mean, as far as being black, I mean, I guess I'll look at it as if maybe some people don't know, I guess, Iowa State or just the state of Iowa as far as African American. I didn't really know the state of Iowa. I didn't know this on the map. But just me coming here and maybe being one of the only black girls on the team and making it through just fine, maybe opening up the doors for other African Americans to come here and still do the same thing, I guess.
Ashley, talk about, in a match like that, I mean, when it's back and forth in the fifth game, do you go in that fifth game thinking you're going to win, you know, kind of, you have to believe that, or what was the mood of the team going into that fifth game?
I thought in the fourth game that we played very well, so we kind of had the momentum going into the fifth game, and you kind of have to use that, and I feel like we didn't start the game off very strong, so it would have been better if we used that momentum going into the fifth game.
Time for one more. Chrissy, this is the first time that you guys have ever lost in the first round match in the NCAA tournament. What do you guys do going forward now? How do you transition from this loss?
Well, one of the things one of our assistant coaches said was that you can't take for granted when you do advance because you do have to be good to advance, and not that we I think took for granted the last couple seasons, but sometimes this kind of loss can put into perspective that you can't quit working hard as a staff or as a team players. You can't take for granted that these wins in the tournament were just going to come. That you have to keep improving, and a lot of people have told me it's easier to get to the top than to stay at the top and maintain. So we've got to continue to work very hard and fight to get back there, and not take for granted that it's just going to happen because we're Iowa State or because we've done it before. That we're going to have to keep at it and keep working to get to that next level.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.